All right, I'd like to call to order the Monday, July 24th, 2023 meeting for the Harwich Youth Services Committee. First up on the agenda, we would like to welcome our new youth counselor, Ashley Symington. And I just want to say on behalf of our board, we're very happy to have you here. We're excited for what is going to be coming in the future. And you're going to be a great addition to this town, and we're very, 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 very lucky to have you here. So welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
For the purposes of the record or anybody watching later, do you want to give just a quick introduction? Tell us about yourself a little bit.
Sure.
Very brief. I'm sure you've done this a million times over the last
I'm a licensed mental health counselor and a nationally certified counselor. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in Rehabilitation Services from UMaine Farmington, and a Master of Science degree in Counseling specializing in mental health from the University of Tennessee down in Knoxville. I am a Cape Codder, born and raised, so I've been back on Cape since I graduated from grad school, worked for several area agencies doing all different things, and I've been in private practice for the last 9 years, specializing in kids and teens and working with adults as well. So, yeah, full family.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
well, welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Well, moving on to an interesting one, the youth counselors report.
Well, that would be like whatever is going on so far.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, so far what's been going on, I have met with a few folks that had transferred from Sheila, and the rest of the time's really just been kind of going around and meeting different people in different places that I'm going to enjoy working with, and kind of starting to pull some new ideas together, and also figuring out what to keep moving forward.
Excellent. Thank you.
Great. The fire chief said he met you and,
Yes.
and he knew your dad.
He knew my dad.
Yeah.
Yep, he did.
That's great.
We did miss last month, so this one's going back a little bit, but a review of the middle school social, which was May 19th, that was held at the Chatham Community Center. I think the social went great. The turnout was enormous. I think what we had almost 100 children, which I think is just fantastic. There was a lot of engagement. Even though like our main event kind of fell through, I feel like that secondary event with the inflatable obstacle course and the jousting or whatever you want to call it, I think it went great, and the kids all had fun. So I think I think it got knocked out of the park. And
it's amazing. I don't know if it's you that's doing this, but it's amazing how many kid volunteers we get at these things. I mean,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Yeah, I have good connections with the high school.
They're just
and
great.
There's a bunch of really good kids in the upper grades now. So
And they certainly think that they're cooler than we are.
Definitely.
and a big shout out to everybody who works at the community center too. They're great, and they're so helpful, and I don't think that it would go as smoothly if it wasn't for their participation and obviously their generosity and letting us use the facility. So big kudos.
this was at the Chatham Community Center. Right?
Yeah, Sharon Stark and her team.
Yeah, fantastic. And I did get to meet the new director of rec there, and she was fantastic. And we talked and stuff like that. And she was looking forward to working with us in the future. So it was nice to meet her.
Did they elect a youth counselor in Chatham at this last election? Wasn't it on?
I believe
Yes.
that they've passed the funding for it. I don't know that they've
Hired.
filled the position yet.
Okay.
And it's 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's a K through 12 person and somebody to work with seniors as well.
Oh.
Yeah, because they have a very big senior population.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Maybe if we keep doing the Chatham Harwich thing, we can loop whoever that may be in.
Yes, that would be awesome.
All right. Anybody else have any comments about the middle school social?
Do we want to talk at all about just super tentatively planning for the fall? Do we want to target some dates, activities, or do we want to table that till our next meeting?
Do we know, like, are the things, because I remember, I'm not remembering correctly, but was it homecoming weekend that we scheduled last year's?
Yes.
And so then we didn't have a lot of student volunteers for the fall one. Do we have all of those, like, big events in our calendar yet?
No, although I may be able to get them from the athletic director.
Okay.
All right. So maybe like table it for now, and then when we kind of have dates that we can plan around,
Okay.
so we can start putting one
Because
together.
it's usually October. Is that when
I
we
think so.
usually do the fall one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've done kickball and we've done a social, so I guess that's the conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
That
Or
we'll
is there
have.
something else we want to try?
Yeah.
And it would be in Harwich this time.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I like that. All right. Moving on to the update on Project Adventure. Since we last met, I did go before the Harwich Board of the Select Board, and they unanimously approved to go forward, and they charged the town administrator with finding the land. There might be some hiccups with the land that we kind of liked right over here. But to quote what was said in the meeting, that's already a part of town record, is that the last time that I checked, there's 400 plots that the town of Harwich owns. We can find a home for this.
Have you been briefed on the project? Or
Yes, a
okay.
little bit.
Yeah, can you also just say a little bit more, because I think it's good at the meetings that, folks out there know what it is, and.
Yeah, and so basically, to focus on multiple age groups, from our youth all the way to our seniors, to even to special populations, adventure-based learning has shown to be an enormous benefit to communities that have it, at their disposal. I think this would be good not just for our people that live here, but also people that visit here. With Wapposett and other places doing a lot of events for large corporations and whatnot in the off season, that would be a great way to do team building, for corporations. Corporate team building is a huge enterprise, and so this facility wouldn't just benefit our local population, but people that could come here specifically for that. I believe that in targeting outdoor activities too, with the advent of I have one, everybody does, kids have one. It's get away from the screen time, get outdoors. I'd like for the land, obviously I'll try to work with whatever land is going to be made available, but something that would be more in a natural setting also gives the availability to teach about environment and to have respect for our environment. And that's kind of like another little teaching addition that you can do when you have a facility that's tucked away in our nice little woods. So I'm excited for it. I think it's something that could pay for itself, benefit especially our kids, and can provide some jobs too. So I really think that this is a home run for everybody in this area, from anybody on Cape Cod really, but specifically it'd be a nice little feather in the cap for town of Harwich, and so I'm excited for
Well,
it.
thank you for pushing it through the various bureaucracy that you've had to go through so far. So just to clarify what you said, I want to make sure I have it accurately in the minutes. You said the select board directed the town administrator to move forward with the project.
Yep.
So then he will decide whether it falls under rec department or
Yep.
something else, or so it's sort of at that level now.
Yep.
He'll take it and
they're
move it
digging
forward.
deeper around about the land too.
Yes,
Okay.
and that land apparently there's already been some inquiries into other uses for the property.
Next to White House.
Yeah, next to White House Field, and so, but nothing is set in stone. Obviously, I think that land would be perfect because it would almost make like a Harwich recreational corridor, if you will.
Right, so close to the community center and the field.
And the proximity to the school,
Yeah.
so the schools could use it.
And actually, since we last did talk, I did tweak something, which was I wanted to have a rock climbing element to the facility, but I started thinking about how it could be more multi-use, and so instead of it being a multi-sided, which is typically what they build, like if you even go to like a park that has a climbing facility, a lot of times it'll be a four-sided,
Yep.
so that way you can have one person on each side, but it's still takes up a small footprint. I want something that's kind of long and tall, and I want the back side of it to only be used for training for our Harwich Fire Department, Chatham Fire Department, so they could actually, and I want it to be like modular, where they kind of have input on what's built back there. So they could work on, you know, quirky little rescues that they might need to do involving, you know, rappelling, what have you. Because that is something that, even though it doesn't happen a lot in this area, you know, you have more boat rescues and stuff like that. It is something that they do have to be certified in. So I did have an impromptu kind of chat about that, and there was some positive feedback to that. And I think that would be something neat if they're able to utilize it for not only for fun, but to keep our first responders trained and at the top of their game. I think that that's another win and another little something that can be added.
Yeah, there's so much potential with this project.
I know, there's
So
something.
much. Now, with it at that phase, what is the role of this committee moving forward? Just continuing to advocate for it?
Yep, continuing to advocate. When I received an email from the town administrator about my presentation. He CC'd Eric, the director of recreation in the town, and basically that going forward, it'll probably be me working with him on this. And you know, so I have a feeling this, you know, just like a lot of town issues and proposals, it's kind of like a hurry up and wait situation, and especially when it comes to the rec department, I understand this is a busy time of year. And so I'm not going to necessarily push for like a meeting or whatnot, because I know that the summer is extremely taxing on everybody that lives here. So come fall, I'm hoping that we can get together and kind of come up with a game plan, and you know, if there's other sites that are viable, maybe do a couple of walkthroughs and kind of see what else is out there for town property. So.
Okay.
At that point, would it be appropriate to invite the phys ed people to just hear but not yet? No. Okay.
I would think that's far too early.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I think the goal now would just be for this committee to support Jeff as like the point person, working with the town, you know, under their leadership, because theoretically, you know, they will be paying for it in one way or another. You know, they will be doing all the procurement, you know. And so I think to keep it simple, like you can be the point person with them and then just pull the committee in for support whenever you think it's necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be kind of, especially this is new, obviously, for me. And, you know, I'm going to, you know, try not to step on toes and, you know, try to be heard when I want to be heard, but also try to read the room a little, like I was talking about, like with summer. Like, I don't want to push too hard right now.
Right, and I think you've done a great job getting it through these various boards and committees, and I think, you know, you've gotten such a good reception everywhere, so I think.
I think the school knows it's coming. I mean, because you came and gave the presentation at the school committee meeting, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, so they have been read in. We talked about the land and, you know, if the school needed to play a role in.
It turns out they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah,
you know, but we didn't know because it said the schools, you know, Harwich Public Schools on the, but now that we dig deeper, that's good. But so at least they're read into it. We have the certified PE teacher at the middle school. So once you have like more clarity at, you know, what are the elements that are going to be in it and things like that. There'll be a time when we tie the school in, because I think that would be huge.
Yeah. And it will probably just involve like, you know, kind of starting at like Harwich High School and me and Eric or whatever the kind of aspect for the core group, you know, having a meeting with the principal and the phys ed at the high school level, and then middle school, and then even down to, you know, the elementary school level. And just kind of have some individual meetings, and just for informational aspects too.
Yep.
You know, before everything really starts to roll. So.
Fantastic. Excited. Good job making it happen. Seemed like a pipe dream, and here we are.
All right, so new business.
I just wanted to, for new business, bring up the, you know, new members topic. Is that okay? So I'm just here right now as a citizen. If I find out that I can join the committee, I will, because I certainly want to support the work and support this awesome human and any programming she's doing. And so, other than the counseling piece. And, when you, just groups and things like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Have you heard about Ashley's new group? But because I'm a private citizen right now, I can go to certain groups and talk to them. So I was wondering if the PTO might be a good group to go to. What do you think?
I think in general, yes, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Although, obviously, they're not meeting for a few months.
No, I know. Is there a middle school version of that?
No.
I know there's a Harwich Elementary School one, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, it may make sense at the curriculum night at the elementary school and even the middle school, although that's a little more complicated because you obviously only want Harwich residents.
Yeah.
So that would get maybe too confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But the committee could have a table there. They usually have resource tables. They've done it different ways. I think this past year the gym was all filled with tables of local organizations, the library, I think the rec department might have been there, things like that. So the committee could be there asking for new members.
Yeah. And along with that, if there was a social date, could promote that as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, not at the elementary school.
No,
but I mean, if we did it the middle school one.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's Chatham parents, but I don't think that it would be necessarily a bad thing to be there, as Harwich Youth Services Committee, just because there will be Harwich parents going through.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was always invited to the ones up at the, as part of APG, but up at the high school, so anyway. Okay, I'd just be glad to help out any way I can. I know that Becky had a couple of people in mind too.
And I pumped into them too and kind of,
And I did too.
yeah, gave my, my 10 cents. And there's some interest there. It's just kind of getting them to kind of maybe sit down and probably talk with each other about it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get some new recruits in here. That'd be great.
Mary Anderson also called me the last week I was there, and she said, is there any possibility that the meetings could be a different night? So that might be a topic for future discussion. I know obviously Thursday, unless are you every other week? Yeah. But Tuesday or Wednesday, so that can be discussed in the future by you guys as well.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that we can get input from you on, because I think in general we're flexible-ish, and maybe thinking about sort of in September, because as noted, this is a busy time of year, and I don't think we can really get anybody else to join it right now. Nobody's really focused on that, but I think if we are trying to make a big move to attract some new members in September, maybe prior to that, you look at your schedule, think about what might work. I think, we could make Thursday nights are probably not good. Tuesday nights would probably be good. But I think we can kind of think about that and come back with some suggestions.
I think it would help if we had the selectman liaison here because of being notified of all the stuff that's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tuesday's no good for you.
Well, not every Tuesday, so. But should we get a September date on on our calendars right now?
Yeah, you can do that.
So that we have another meeting just to have, and then at that meeting we can discuss if we want to shift the day of the week. Only because I know at least my calendars, all of our calendars are going to fill up. All of us, everybody here, even you.
Maybe like 12th?
Tuesday the 12th?
Yeah.
Oh, we are going to move to Tuesday?
Well, if they haven't changed the, because since the kids are going to be starting, 5:30, if we only have a half an hour.
Should we do it at 5?
We could shoot for 5.
Do you have night groups on Tuesdays?
Not yet. You want to claim Tuesdays, or what? And I think one Tuesday. It's once a month.
Yes.
Right. One Tuesday a month will be. I
Would
can
be
work
okay.
around it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to say the 12th?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Is
that
that good
works.
for you, Joy?
Yeah. And are we gonna try 5 or 5:30? It sounds like by then they'll have somebody in place.
Here?
Yeah, they just need
Hopefully.
to hire.
Oh, that's why
They
it
have,
closes
yeah,
early?
they have the
Yeah.
funding for new
Oh.
staff. They just haven't hired any. It was approved at town meeting this spring.
Right. So maybe try for 5 for this September meeting and then, I don't
Sure.
know. Or is that too early?
I can make it work.
Too early for you?
No, I think we can do that.
I have to find out from, the town clerk, what the rules are about membership. I think I was told it was okay because we're not a fundraising
Yeah, we don't deal with any money.
entity.
So what are we doing, 5 or 5:30?
5?
5.
5, okay. And hopefully Annalise will be available too. And it might be nice to try to get another youth. So my daughter Annalise has been the student member, but it might be nice to get someone younger,
Yeah,
like
Well,
a middle
'cause
school
she's a-
because she's a senior.
Wow.
So she's got great input. I mean, I'm a little biased, but
Well, she's amazing.
But,
even a freshman, you know.
even yeah,
Yeah.
freshman, even an 8th grader maybe,
Yeah,
who's so maybe you can think about that.
And the
We'll think about
Yeah.
that.
and the guidance counselors might have an idea of the
Yep.
kid, yeah. If the meeting is gonna move to like, say, the second Tuesday of the month, is that the second Tuesday
I
of
think
the month?
so, yeah.
Instead of
Second
the
Tuesday, yeah.
third Monday, the youth services director website, under the committees, that has to be changed.
I've got it, the
Okay.
whole thing's gotta be changed.
I know.
One step at a time, yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
think
we
that
can do a
Caleb
lot-
will help you with that, so, yeah, he'll be great.
And anything that you would want to talk about for changes and stuff.
Yeah, let me
Joy
know.
is still the
I-
secretary,
yeah.
so she'll
Okay.
create the agenda, so she
Perfect.
can just add anything, and then we can do a lot of nuts and bolts stuff on that
Awesome.
night.
And then at that meeting, we can discuss whether we need to reorg or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember what the rules are, what the timing was.
I think it was every 2 years.
Oh, was it 2 years? Okay.
I'm not
maybe
sure,
It
though.
hasn't been that long.
It hasn't?
That
I
sounds
don't
right.
have time.
I know,
Yeah,
Means
I know.
nothing
I
anymore.
should know these things.
It's
Yeah.
that whole COVID gap of
Yeah.
Yeah.
like where everything gets weird.
All right.
Yes.
Is that everything we needed
All
to
right.
talk about?
I believe so.
I move that we adjourn.
I second.
You can second.
Oh, that's right.
I'll second.
All right. Meeting adjourned. We do that. We do that every time.
That's okay, Robert's rules are hard.
That's right.
5:53.
Nice.
That's such a cool little device over there.